Hey guys, it is Lilia Valerie back at it again with another video. Today is my driver's test and I thought it would be fun if I just kind of like vlogged the whole experience. Right now it is like 7:25 in the morning. I need to drop off my sister at school, of course with my dad in the passenger seat because I don't have my license yet. And then I'm gonna drive myself to school, and then my dad's gonna pick me up at lunch, and then we're gonna head to the DMV. I'm really excited. It would be great to have my license, so I really hope that I can pass, but I know the DMV area that I'm going to has a lot of busy streets, so that's gonna be a little hard, but I hope I can do it. So I'll just show you little bits and pieces of the whole experience, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. So right now we are at the DMV, right Papa?
Yes.
And we're about to check in and everything. I'm nervous. So they said it's too early to check in, so now we're at Taco Bell. Guys, I'm gonna take my test soon. I'm just waiting for the instructor to come out, and then we switch spots, and then do you think I'm gonna pass?
You know it.
Ew. Guys, I passed. I thought I was gonna fail. I'll tell you guys the story later, but I thought I was gonna fail. So I'm gonna drive home right now, and then I'll update you guys on what happened. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna give you guys a little story time of everything that happened and how I felt and everything. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. So when I first got there, as you can see, I got there a little too early. I got there like 40 minutes early because you never know with DMVs and stuff. So we got there, the lady at her desk said to come back at 2, so we went to Taco Bell, we got a little drink to stay hydrated, and then we came back. There was a long line, but eventually we got up to the front again. We got all our papers, and then my dad drove to the area because they said the person that's there with you has to drive at first, and eventually you guys have to eventually we had to switch seats, but like we weren't sure when to do that. And then so eventually all the cars go up, and then it's my turn to go. There's a car in the front, and then there's me. A lady walks out, and she looks really nice, and that wasn't my instructor, or that wasn't my person who was gonna be with me, but I'm like, oh, I hope mine looks as nice as her and stuff. So everything was getting figured out with that car, and then my person came out, and my first reaction was, oh no. Like, y'all don't know how frightened I was, because before I went to the DMV, I had like researched everything on like the DMV that I went to, and I went on Yelp and everything, and it said a lot of Yelp reviews said that there's this one lady with red hair that fails everybody. And when the lady walked out, this chick had red hair. So I'm like, oh no, like I don't even have a chance, I'm gonna fail, like what the heck, I'm gonna like. And to make it worse, she starts yelling at like everybody. So there's like cars in line, she starts yelling at the cars in line, oh, you get out here, blah blah blah. And at this point my dad and I hadn't switched seats yet because we weren't sure where to do that. So then she was yelling at me and like my dad, and she's like, get out of the car. And then my dad kind of went like switch with us, but then the lady was like, get out, like just leave. And then she was talking to the people in the other cars and like, y'all need to switch already, like what are y'all doing? And like it was just, first impressions weren't good already. On top of what we already thought about this lady, she was like showing her emotions and everything, and it was so scary. And I handed her my papers and everything when she asked, and then she was like looking through it, and she was like asking the lady in the other car, in the first car, she was like, yo, Barbara, like who's doing the papers at the desk? And then she's like, oh, I don't know. And then she looks at me and she's like, your father needs to sign this paper and put his ID number and everything. So then I'm already flustered and everything, and I have to get out the car, And then I have to ask my dad to do all the stuff. And then after I tell my dad, I'm like, this is the lady that everybody's been talking about, how she fails everybody. So then I got like all nervous and I was overwhelmed and everything. And then I got back into the car and she was like, do your hand signals. And I was like, left, right, slow down, there's stop. And we're doing everything, and I was in an electric car because I was using my grandma's car. So like the startup button and the engine button, you have to like press it differently. And I got all flustered with that because like I was trying to do it in drive, and then it was like beeping at me, and like I was supposed to press the button again, but like I had never like really done it that way. I would just turn it on and go. So then that flustered me, and then she's like yelling at me. She's like, what are you doing? And whew, your girl was just, it wasn't going good. And so we're about to start. My window's down because I forgot to put it back up. We start going. I start turning and everything, and then we start going, and then the wind starts blowing through my window like, and a piece of my hair got stuck on my eyelash, and it was kind of just like hitting me like this, and I couldn't see, so I was like blindly driving, and I didn't want to take my hands off the wheel, so I was like this, like kind of like just driving like this, which I'm sure isn't safe, but like I didn't want to take my hand off the wheel because I didn't want to like get an automatic fail or something. And so we continued the route, and then eventually she said turn left, and then she was like, okay, like pull over here right next, or like right there by the silver car, right there by the silver car. There was like 2 silver cars. There's one right here, and then there was another one right here, and there's like distance to go like between the areas, so I was like really confused, and then so I just kind of like jerked to the side, and then she started yelling at me.
She's like, what are you doing? I told you to buy the silver car. And
I'm like, I don't know, and it was just like really scary and everything. But your girl passed the little backup thingy. Anyways, and then after that we continued, and we were going smoothly, I think. But she was just like, that was a white turn, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. But basically everything was going good until this one point where I was supposed to go straight, but she was saying something weird. So then I went into like a left lane, and she's like,
why are you going over there? That's a dead end.
and I'm like, I thought you said to go here, and like, and then eventually I had to like go back into the other lane, and then so I like switched back into the lane I was supposed to be in, and then she's like, okay, you're gonna want to go left, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go left, right? And she's like, yes. So I go left, and I go into the left lane because I thought that was going left, but then she starts yelling at me. She's like,
I didn't tell you to go left. I just told you to keep on going.
and I'm like, no, you didn't. Like, and then she's like,
are you okay?
and I'm like,
No, I'm a little flustered right now.
because like I'm like hearing all these instructions wrong and everything, and like I'm going the wrong way, and it was just like all bad things. And so then I'm turning left, and she's mad at me, and like nothing's going good. And then at this point we're already heading in the direction back to the DMV. So then she says,
Okay, so we're just gonna go back to the DMV.
and at this point I was like, I'm a goner, like I'm done, like. And she's like,
Don't pull into the wrong driveway, like, you dummy. She like literally was like thinking I'm so dumb and stupid, but like, who is she to blame?
okay. And then so I entered the driveway, and I'm like, I failed. I know I failed. Like, I wanted to barf. I wanted to cry. I wanted to do everything. I was like, I really failed. And then eventually I pulled into where you're supposed to stop your driving test. And then she starts talking to me about everything that I did bad.
She's like, yeah, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you did this. Like, why did you do this? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, this is what you should have done. And then she's like, okay, but you passed.
But like she didn't say it like that clearly. She was like, yeah, just go to the window and the blah, 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 blah. And I was like, thank you. And I just kind of got out of my car, and I went to my dad, and I'm like, I think I passed, but end of the story, your girl passed, only had 7 mistakes, but I literally thought I had like an automatic fail because we literally ended the trip early, but everything turned out alright. I thought I was gonna fail. I thought I was gonna like have to redo it. I was like, what am I gonna tell my friends? Like, I gotta make up an excuse, and like everything was going through my mind, and I was like about to like have a meltdown. But I passed, and after I passed and everything, my dad told me that the person in front of me failed and the person behind me failed, so I was like the only one who passed out of the 3 cars, and that got me shooketh because I thought I was gonna be the one that failed and the 2 people were gonna like pass because they looked like they got really nice instructors. But I think the instructor that I had, she was just like tough on the outside and like really soft on the inside, because after she told me everything I did wrong, she was like, yeah, I know we all make mistakes, like I did that when I was younger, so that's cool. And yeah, so that was my experience. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, do what you gotta do what you want, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
But it takes someone to come around.